Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the explosive twists unfolding from October 20th to October 31st, where alliances shift, secrets unravel, and revenge plots ignite like never before in Port Charles. As the drama ramps up during the week of October 20th to 24th, the courtroom saga surrounding Willow Tate and Nina Reeves reaches a fever pitch with an unexpected revelation that could shatter their fragile defenses. Picture this: as the arraignment unfolds in the tense halls of the local courthouse, a last-minute witness emerges from the shadows of Willow's complicated past, perhaps a long-forgotten colleague from her nursing days who holds key evidence about the true intentions behind the charges. This twist not only complicates the prosecution's case but forces both women to confront buried resentments, with Nina's journalistic instincts clashing against Willow's protective maternal instincts in a way that hints at deeper family rifts yet to heal. In the wake of this bombshell, Alexis Davis finds herself at the center of a high-stakes proposition that tempts her ethical boundaries like a siren's call, blending her legal prowess with personal loyalties that could redefine her role in the Corinthos Quartermaine web. Willow's quest for justice takes a pivotal turn as she secures a formidable new attorney, raising the intriguing possibility that Drew Kane will pull out all the stops to persuade Alexis to step into the fray on her behalf. Imagine Drew, leveraging his military-honed negotiation skills, approaching Alexis in a dimly lit Quartermaine study, where he dangles the promise of lifting the suffocating restraining orders that have kept him from his daughter Scout, orders born from Michael's vengeful custody battles. This deal isn't just transactional, it's laced with emotional undercurrents, as Drew recounts heartfelt anecdotes of Scout's latest milestones, like her first wobbly steps toward a toy soldier, appealing to Alexis's own history of fierce motherhood. Such a move could not only free Willow but also forge an unlikely bridge between the Kane and Davis families, potentially averting a larger feud that threatens to engulf the entire town. Meanwhile, across town at the elegant Quartermaine estate, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine hosts what starts as a seemingly innocuous tea party for the enigmatic Veronica Ronnie Bard, but it spirals into a confrontation that crackles with old Quartermaine fire. Envision the scene: delicate china clinking amid polite chatter that turns venomous as Ronnie, with her sharp wit and hidden agendas, locks eyes with Tracy Quartermaine, whose no-nonsense demeanor has long guarded the family's secrets. Their face-off erupts over whispers of corporate espionage tied to ELQ's latest venture, with Tracy accusing Ronnie of meddling in affairs that echo the infamous Lila Quartermaine scandals of yesteryear. This clash might expose Ronnie's true motives, perhaps a covert link to international intrigue, setting the stage for Brooke Lynn to navigate treacherous loyalties, all while sipping chamomile that suddenly tastes bitter with betrayal. Over in the stark confines of Steinmauer prison, Valentin Cassidy's isolation is pierced by a shadowy visitor whose arrival sends ripples through his meticulously laid plans for liberation and retribution against Jack Brennan. This mystery figure could be a figure from Valentin's enigmatic past, like a former Cassidine ally exiled during the Helena era, slipping in under the guise of a routine consultation but armed with insider knowledge on Brennan's vulnerabilities. Their hushed conversation might revolve around forged documents or a hidden tunnel network beneath the facility, drawing parallels to classic Cassidine escape artistry while hinting at Valentin's growing network of spies in Port Charles. Such an encounter promises to accelerate Valentin's scheme, transforming his cell from a cage into a command center for the chaos to come. In a subplot brimming with youthful determination, Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Palmieri solidify their strategy, zeroing in on Professor Henry "Hank" Dalton as the linchpin of their covert operation. Drawing from Emma's spy heritage inherited from her parents, the duo might convene in a secluded coffee shop near the university, sketching out a digital surveillance plan that involves hacking Dalton's encrypted emails to uncover ties to larger threats like WSB Black Ops. Giovanni's tech-savvy flair adds inventive layers, such as deploying drone reconnaissance, while Emma's intuition flags Dalton's erratic behavior, late-night meetings and cryptic calls, as signs of deeper involvement in Port Charles's underbelly. This alliance not only targets Dalton but also tests the young pair's budding partnership, fraught with the tension of unspoken crushes amid high-risk maneuvers. Shifting to heartfelt reconnection, Lulu Spencer and Nathan West share a poignant bonding moment that peels back layers of lost time, evoking the ghosts of what could have been in their fractured lives. Seated perhaps on a bench overlooking the harbor where so many Spencer dramas have played out, they reminisce about the years stolen by comas and crises, with Nathan's detective instincts mirroring Lulu's journalistic drive in piecing together alternate histories. Their conversation turns wistful as they lament Maxie Jones's continued unconscious state, imagining joyous reunions filled with baby Maxie's laughter or shared holiday toasts that never materialized. This session deepens their emotional tether, potentially sparking Lulu's resolve to advocate for Maxie's awakening through experimental treatments, while Nathan grapples with guilt over leads he might have missed during her ordeal. Drew Kane doesn't hold back in his crusade for Willow, hurling pointed legal warnings that echo through boardrooms and family gatherings as he rallies support. Envision him cornering key players like Ned Ashton in ELQ's opulent offices, citing statutes on wrongful accusations with the precision of a battlefield tactician, all to dismantle the barriers around Willow. These threats carry weighty implications, possibly involving asset freezes or public exposés that could tarnish reputations tied to the arraignment, underscoring Drew's evolution from soldier to shrewd advocate. Yet, lurking in the periphery, Michael Corinthos accelerates his own shadowy initiative, elevating it from whispers to bold execution with resources drawn from his Aurora empire. Drew's path to victory takes an unforeseen detour as he uncovers a surprising collaborator, someone whose motives align in a pact of convenience that could reshape alliances across Port Charles. This new partner might emerge as an unlikely insider, say a disillusioned WSB operative with grudges against the same foes, proposing a quid pro quo involving shared intelligence on Brennan's operations. Their deal unfolds in clandestine meetings at the Metro Court, where mutual benefits are hashed out. Drew gains leverage for Willow, while the ally secures protection from Cassadine reprisals, hinting at a broader coalition against the town's escalating dangers. Carly Spencer, ever the fierce protector, unleashes her fury on Brennan for withholding perilous truths that endanger her daughter Jocelyn, her words cutting like a Scorpio blade in a heated diner showdown. Carly's outrage stems from fragmented clues about Jocelyn's entanglement in WSB affairs, blaming the lingering fallout from the S. Vaughn impersonation scandal that once upended Deception's world. She feigns lingering bitterness over that corporate sabotage, using it as a smokescreen to probe Brennan's defenses, while inwardly seething at how these deceptions mirror her own history of guarded secrets with Sonny. Brennan, sensing the shift, grows wary that Jason Morgan might have confided the full extent of Jocelyn's covert role, prompting him to schedule an urgent rendezvous with her to float the suspicion and strategize countermeasures. As October 27th to 31st dawns, Carly's turmoil over Brennan's duplicity intensifies, morphing into a calculated quest for vengeance that draws on her resilient survivor spirit. She might enlist Sonny's underground contacts for dirt on Brennan's past exploits, envisioning payback through leaked dossiers or sabotaged missions that expose his overreach. This struggle intertwines with mounting worries for Jocelyn, especially as whispers of a high-stakes assignment emerge, perhaps infiltrating a black market ring tied to Cassadine artifacts, pushing Carly to intervene with maternal ferocity that risks her own safety. Valentin's machinations hit a crescendo with an audacious breakout plot, orchestrated alongside his elusive accomplice who provides the missing puzzle pieces for success. From Steinmauer's bowels, they might coordinate via smuggled devices, plotting diversions like staged riots or bribed guards reminiscent of Victor Cassadine's infamous jailbreaks. Brennan remains blissfully unaware, his focus divided by other threats, ensuring Valentin's maneuver lands with shocking impact that could cascade into vendettas targeting key players like Anna Devane. In a lighter yet charged vein, Cody Bell and Molly Lansing Davis at last seize the moment for that long-delayed kiss, igniting sparks that promise a fresh romance amid Port Charles's storms. Their embrace, perhaps under the stars at the stables where Cody's rodeo roots shine, follows a day of shared laughs over legal briefs and horse rides, but shadows loom as Cody wrestles with the burden of concealed truths about Rick Lansing's schemes, Alexis's vulnerabilities, Christina Corinthos Davis's entanglements, and Ava Jerome's manipulative games. This guilt could fracture their budding connection if Molly senses the omissions, forcing Cody to weigh honesty against the havoc revelations might unleash on her family ties. Next, we will learn about the shocking arrests that have rocked Port Charles, leaving fans on the edge of their seats as trusted characters face the consequences of a tangled web of deception. In a dramatic turn of events, Police Commissioner Anna Devane has spearheaded the simultaneous takedowns of Willow Tate and her mother, Nina Reeves, charging them with attempted murder and conspiracy in the shooting of Drew Kane. The once unbreakable bond between this mother-daughter pair now hangs by a thread, as evidence mounts against them in what could be one of the most explosive cases in General Hospital history. Anna, with her years of experience navigating Port Charles's darkest secrets, didn't hesitate to act once the pieces fell into place, turning what seemed like a solid defense into a house of cards crumbling under scrutiny. Fans have speculated wildly online about how this arrest might ripple through the Quartermaine and Corinthos families, potentially exposing long-buried resentments that date back to Willow's leukemia battle and Nina's hidden identity as her biological mother. Nina's carefully crafted alibi, which placed her far from the scene of the crime, quickly unraveled when security camera footage from her luxurious penthouse revealed inconsistencies that couldn't be ignored. The video, timestamped precisely for the evening Drew was gunned down, showed Nina pacing her living room alone, contradicting her claim of being elsewhere with Willow to provide mutual cover. This revelation not only implicated Nina but left Willow exposed and vulnerable, her own story of being at home studying medical texts for her nursing career suddenly ringing hollow without corroboration. Investigators delved deeper, uncovering text messages between the two that hinted at a frantic effort to align their narratives hours after the incident, raising questions about why they would risk everything for such a flimsy excuse. As the dust settles, Port Charles residents whisper about Nina's history of impulsive decisions, from her Metro Court scandals to her recent clashes with Ava Jerome, wondering if this is just another chapter in her chaotic life. Willow, now isolated in a holding cell, firmly believes that her estranged husband, Michael Corinthos, orchestrated this entire setup to sabotage her custody battle over their children, Wiley and Amelia. Her conviction stems from Michael's recent overtures of reconciliation, which she now views as manipulative ploys to gather intel on her movements that fateful night. In heartfelt conversations with her confidant, Dr. Hamilton Finn, Willow recounted how Michael's access to the family home allowed him to plant subtle clues, like the misplaced gun found in her drawer, a relic from Sonny's old security stash that she swears she never touched. This theory gains traction among viewers who recall Michael's ruthless business tactics at ELQ, where he's clashed with rivals like Valentin Cassadine over corporate takeovers, suggesting a pattern of framing foes to protect his empire. If Anna digs into Willow's claims, it could unearth Michael's vulnerabilities, including his strained alliance with his father, Sonny, who has always prioritized family loyalty above all. As the investigation intensifies, Anna's sharp instincts may lead her to probe the surprising parallels between Michael and Drew. Beyond their shared romantic history with Willow, both men have navigated high-stakes betrayals that echo in this shooting. Drew's military background and his time as a presumed dead man have honed his survival skills, much like Michael's evolution from a grieving son to a calculated executive, hinting at a deeper rivalry fueled by jealousy over Willow's affections. Anna, reflecting on past cases involving the Kane brothers' doppelganger twists, might connect dots to their joint ventures in Aurora Media, where leaked emails could reveal motives tied to a corporate espionage plot gone wrong. This angle adds layers to the drama, as fans theorize about how Carly Spencer's divided loyalties, torn between her exes, might inadvertently provide alibis that crumble under pressure, reshaping alliances in unexpected ways. Michael's purported alibi for the night of the shooting appears ironclad on the surface, but cracks are already showing under Sonny Corinthos' relentless scrutiny, who bluntly labeled it as out of character during a tense confrontation at the Haunted Star. Michael claimed he was entangled in a discreet rendezvous with Jacinda Bracken, a high-end escort whose services he allegedly paid for in cash to avoid any digital trail, a far cry from his usual straightforward demeanor shaped by his upbringing in the Corinthos household. Jacinda, who previously entangled herself with a drug-fueled Drew during a wild bachelor party that strained his marriage to Willow, now finds herself in a precarious position, her loyalty bought but perhaps not unbreakable. What if financial pressures mount, prompting Jacinda to whisper doubts to Dante Falconeri, the detective on the case, about Michael's true intentions? Sonny's intuition, honed from decades of mob dealings, senses this cover might shatter if Anna applies her trademark interrogation techniques, potentially dragging in Michael's sister Jocelyn, who overheard suspicious phone calls that night. The plot thickens as Drew Kane harbors a covert strategy to dismantle Michael's credibility by fabricating a recovered memory of the shooter, pinning the blame squarely on his romantic rival in a bid for vigilante justice. Over whispered late-night strategy sessions in the dimly lit corners of the Quartermaine mansion, Drew confided in Willow about this deception, framing it as a necessary evil to neutralize Michael's influence and restore her family unit. Willow, initially hesitant due to her ethical nursing vows, relented after Michael's supposed olive branch, a supervised visit with the kids, turned sour, reigniting her fury and solidifying her resolve to strike back. Now, with arrest cuffs chafing her wrists, Willow urges Drew to accelerate the plan, but Anna's seasoned eye could spot the timing as contrived, especially since Drew's amnesia conveniently surfaces amid escalating tensions from his Senate campaign woes. Viewers buzz about how this could backfire, drawing in Brooklyn Quartermaine as an unwitting witness to Drew's private doubts, complicating the narrative with her own ELQ entanglements. At the heart of this whirlwind stands Willow, whose passionate declaration to her ex, Harrison Chase, that she could never harm Drew out of lingering love, carries a ring of authenticity that even skeptics can't fully dismiss. Chase, still nursing feelings from their brief romance interrupted by Willow's cancer treatment, promised to advocate for her innocence, citing her recent blow-ups with Nina over withheld medical secrets as proof she wasn't complicit in alibi forging, though her silence at the time spoke volumes. The gun's convenient discovery in Willow's room, hidden among nursing textbooks and family photos, screams setup to those close to her, like Nurse Epiphany Johnson, who vouched for Willow's whereabouts during shifts that overlapped the crime window. As Anna sifts through forensics, the commissioner's focus might pivot dramatically, weighing Michael's paid witness against Drew's vengeful testimony, potentially unmasking a larger conspiracy involving Austin Gatlin Holt's shady clinic dealings that supplied the weapon. Ultimately, Anna's next moves could redefine the landscape of Port Charles justice, zeroing in on either Michael's elaborate frame job or Drew's desperate counterstrike, with Willow caught in the crossfire of love, betrayal, and ambition. The evidence trail, laced with digital footprints and eyewitness accounts, promises twists that echo classic GH sagas like the Cassadine curses or the Spencer legacy feuds. As bail hearings loom, the question lingers: will truth prevail, or will loyalties fracture further, leaving irreversible scars on the Corinthos, Kane, and Tate legacies? Stay tuned for more unraveling drama that keeps us guessing week after week. Next, we will learn about the explosive custody showdown between Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate that's spiraling into a full-blown family feud with shocking arrests and betrayals at every turn. In the heart of Port Charles, the once promising union between Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate has fractured into a vicious battle over their children's future, with stakes now skyrocketing beyond mere parental rights. Willow's recent arrest on charges tied to the attempted murder of Drew Kane has ignited her deepest suspicions, pointing straight at Michael as the mastermind who orchestrated her downfall to seize full custody. Picture this: Willow, already reeling from a cascade of personal upheavals including revelations about her hidden past and strained ties to her newly discovered family, finds herself cornered by law enforcement just when she thought she was rebuilding her life. Michael's calculated moves, from leveraging their shared history to deploying subtle manipulations during tense co-parenting sessions, have painted Willow as unstable and unfit, according to insider whispers from the Quartermaine estate. But Willow isn't buying the coincidence. She believes Michael fed false leads to the authorities, timing her arrest perfectly to exploit her vulnerabilities and ensure the kids remain firmly in his corner. This isn't just a legal skirmish, it's a psychological war where every whispered conversation and courtroom glance could tip the scales toward irreversible loss. Adding fuel to the fire is Willow's mounting fury toward her mother, Nina Reeves, whose impulsive attempt to shield her daughter boomeranged into a catastrophic double arrest. Nina, ever the protective force in Willow's life despite their rocky reconciliation, rushed to provide an alibi claiming they were together during the chaotic night of Drew's shooting, but her story unraveled under the slightest scrutiny. Without consulting Willow or verifying details, Nina's account clashed with physical evidence and timelines, exposing inconsistencies that prosecutors pounced on like vultures. Imagine Nina, in a moment of maternal desperation, fabricating a heart-to-heart chat at the hospital to cover Willow's absence, only for it to highlight how isolated Willow truly was that evening. The fallout has deepened the rift between mother and daughter, as Willow grapples with the betrayal of Nina's well-intentioned but reckless lie, which not only implicated her but dragged Nina into the crosshairs of conspiracy accusations. Fans are buzzing about this dynamic, speculating if Nina's media empire connections at Crimson could unearth exonerating proof, or if her past deceptions, like the Avery custody drama, will forever taint her credibility in Willow's eyes. Yet, amid the blame, a silver lining emerges. This shared peril might forge an unbreakable alliance, turning their discord into a united front against overwhelming odds. As the dust settles on these arrests, the narrative arc in General Hospital is crystal clear, positioning Willow and Nina as underdogs in a high-stakes clash against the formidable duo of Michael Corinthos and Carly Spencer. This isn't your typical custody dispute, it's evolving into a labyrinth of deceit, revenge, and potential incarceration that could dismantle the Corinthos legacy piece by piece. Viewers can sense the writers building toward a dramatic reversal, where Willow and Nina, armed with newfound resolve and perhaps unexpected allies like T.J. Ashford's legal insights or Sasha Gilmore's empathetic support, expose Michael's schemes and flip the verdict. Envision courtroom scenes dripping with tension, Willow testifying about Michael's coercive tactics during late-night custody negotiations, or Nina leveraging her investigative journalism savvy to uncover planted evidence linking back to Carly's Metro Court safe. Thematically, this storyline delves into themes of loyalty and redemption, questioning whether blood ties, or chosen family, hold stronger in Port Charles's treacherous waters. Early fan polls on social media show 65% rooting for the mother-daughter team's comeback, predicting a twist where they not only regain custody but implicate Michael in tampering, sending shockwaves through the Spencer Corinthos clan. Rewind to that fateful night of Drew Kane's shooting, a pivotal moment that has left Willow's world in tatters and set the custody battle ablaze. Overwhelmed by a whirlwind of betrayals, from learning more about her adoption secrets to clashing with Michael over parenting philosophies, Willow reached a breaking point, fleeing her nursing shift at General Hospital to seek solace in the stormy streets of Port Charles. She wandered aimlessly, her mind a storm of regrets and fears for her twins' future, allowing the relentless rain to soak her to the bone as she confronted her isolation. Returning to the hospital hours later, disheveled and shivering, Willow tried to compose herself amid concerned glances from colleagues like Elizabeth Weber and Portia Robinson, who noted her erratic behavior but chalked it up to exhaustion. Little did she know, this vulnerable state would become Exhibit A in the prosecution's case. The shooting itself unfolded in a blur of shadows near the docks, with Drew caught in the crossfire of what authorities suspect was a targeted hit tied to Quartermaine business rivalries. Willow's absence during those critical hours, combined with her return looking like she'd battled a hurricane, raised immediate red flags when police arrived to question hospital staff about potential witnesses. In a city where surveillance is king, this raw, unfiltered breakdown of Willow's composure contrasts sharply with the polished narrative spun by her adversaries, underscoring how one night of emotional collapse could cost her everything. The real unraveling began when Nina stepped in with her ill-fated alibi, a decision that exposed glaring discrepancies and sealed their fates in the eyes of investigators. Why did Willow appear as if she'd been through a tempest while Nina showed up pristine and unruffled, as if she'd spent the evening sipping wine at home? This visual mismatch became the prosecution's smoking gun, amplified by Nina's hasty claim of mutual support during the crisis. In hindsight, Nina overlooked a web of digital trails that could dismantle her story, security cameras in her opulent penthouse capturing her solitary evening routine, perhaps reviewing crimson layouts alone, or hospital entrances logging Willow's solo comings and goings without Nina in sight. Add to that potential witness statements from doormen or even a chance encounter with Valentin Cassadine, who might recall seeing Nina elsewhere, and the alibi crumbles like a house of cards. This lack of synchronization between mother and daughter highlights their evolving but fragile bond, Nina's instinct to protect clashing with Willow's independent spirit, born from years of self-reliance. Speculation runs wild among fans. Could Nina's lie stem from deeper guilt over past abandonments, or is it a ploy to draw out the real culprit? Either way, it has prosecutors piling on charges of obstruction alongside the murder and conspiracy counts, painting Willow and Nina as a bumbling pair ill-equipped for the spotlight of justice. Facing these formidable accusations of murder attempt and conspiracy, Willow and Nina stare down a daunting path, their chances dimmed by the powerhouse opposition of Michael and Carly, a tandem forged in the fires of countless Port Charles crises. Michael, with his corporate acumen from ELQ and unyielding devotion to his family, has long proven he's a strategic force, willing to bend rules for what he deems right, like during the Shiloh cult fallout or his clashes with Sonny. Carly, the ultimate survivor who's navigated everything from mob wars to identity swaps, brings her street-smart intuition and vast network, including ties to Jason Morgan's old contacts that could provide alibis or distractions. Together, they've operated as a seamless unit for years, from co-parenting Donna to shielding each other in legal battles, making them a juggernaut in this arena. Rumors swirl that Carly, ever the fixer, might have slipped the incriminating gun into a hospital locker during a routine visit, while Michael preyed on Willow's maternal instincts by staging emotional pleas about the kid's stability right before the arrest. Or perhaps Michael acted solo, drawing on his military-honed tactics from his Metro Court security days, with Carly's unwavering backing ensuring no loose ends. Fans aren't split on their prowess. Online forums overflow with theories praising the duo's resource depth, from hiring top-tier lawyers like Martin Gray to mobilizing Quartermaine influence for favorable jury pools, positioning them as nearly invincible. Yet, in the unpredictable world of General Hospital, where reversals are as common as Metro Court mimosas, Willow and Nina might just muster the upset of the year and turn the tables on their rivals. Willow's resilience, honed through leukemia battles and identity crises, could shine as she rallies support from unlikely quarters, such as a remorseful Drew Kane testifying to her character or Austin Gatlinholt digging up medical records proving her alibi gaps were innocent. Nina, drawing on her journalistic grit, might expose a deeper conspiracy involving Cyrus Renault's lingering shadows or even a frame job by Ava Jerome's enemies. Detailed breakdowns from script leaks suggest escalating scenes, a clandestine meeting where Willow confronts Michael in the Quartermaine boathouse, unearthing a recorded confession, or Nina hacking into security feeds with Dex Heller's tech help to reveal the true shooter. Fan theories abound. One posits Willow regaining custody and exposing Michael's paternal manipulations, leading to his temporary downfall akin to his Dex betrayal arc. Another envisions Nina's redemption arc culminating in a prison swap, where Carly faces perjury charges for her cover-up. With 72% of polled viewers believing in a twist favoring the duo, the question lingers: can Willow and Nina harness their raw emotion and maternal fire to outmaneuver the Corinthos machine, rewriting their story from victims to victors in this epic saga? Stay tuned, Port Charles, the drama is just heating up.